All right, welcome back to the On The Go show. It's been a little bit, but life has definitely gotten in the way. Wouldn't you say, James?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, I just want to be full transparent here because I feel like when you're going through life, it's kind of hard to have this personality where, I can do it, but it's just hard. I see how some people go through their life and they're able to turn it on and turn it off. I'm not one of those people right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. So it's like, it's kind of hard to have this duality of coming on the podcast, being fun loving and trying to have fun and do corny jokes all day. And then at the same time, cut this off and then go right back to life. So some people might understand. Some people might not understand. Some people might understand. But I'm just putting it out there that, when life happens, I'm not going to always be able to. So y'all gonna have to bear with me, whether it's 4 people listening to this podcast or 5 people to listen to this podcast. Those 5 or 4 people are going to have to bear with me, because right now that's what we own.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the best I possibly can to do this thing. I'm not getting paid for this, y'all. I'm not getting paid for this at all.
We are not.
So it's like, I'm doing the best I can to keep up some type of patience with this. Sometimes I do this podcast and I don't even know if I even feel like doing it. You know what I'm saying? If we just being totally real.
Right.
Like sometimes I do this, I don't even feel like clicking on this. Sometimes I just feel like just stopping. I could have stopped a long time ago, but I continue to keep pushing through this, and sometimes it's better than it, and then sometimes it's not. So I would just ask those 4 or 5 people, whoever listens to the podcast, to just, keep some type of patience with me. I'm doing the best I possibly can.
The floor is yours.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh, that's it? That's all you got?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I thought this was going to be a bigger thing.
No, no. It has nothing to do with anybody that said anything. No, I'm just being fully transparent with people because I understand that sometimes I might come on here, I might sound like I'm not up for it or not amped up for the podcast because, life happens.
Mm-hmm.
Going through life every day, and then it's hard to come on the podcast and just turn on the switch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's really, really, really hard. And, I just want people to understand that. So that's all I was just wanting to say.
It is hard to have that on personality. It's hard to be on. But, and, we aren't getting paid from this. This isn't a paid gig. This is really kind of a hobby for the most part. I enjoy doing this because it's a routine thing, right? It's once a week. I know we're hopping on here and we're able to like talk and hang out and stuff. Even though I'm not physically in Houston anymore, this is still a way for us to hang out, right? Like that's the way I view it. I don't know if that like maybe helps, if that'll help you get in the mindset of it's like, this isn't really like, this isn't a thing you have to do. This is like, we're hanging out. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think if I was in like a better headspace and just not going through as badly as I'm going through it right now, then I probably would be in that mindset. But it's just kind of hard sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
no, I understand. Trust me. I was kind of feeling the same way today, this morning, actually, because, as you know, and as the audience probably knows if they follow along that close, is we didn't release an episode last week. We didn't even record an episode last week because I've been dealing with like bed bugs. And all last week I had to pack up my apartment. You ever move your apartment into your apartment, James?
Oh yeah, I've done that before. Like bed bugs, it's nothing nice. That's nothing to mess with, man.
That was the first time I've ever had to do something like that. Where like essentially we literally moved our whole apartment inside of our apartment. Like we had to move everything into the bathroom and the kitchen that wasn't like clothes, right? We had to launder everything. And it was such a process. And it was mostly me doing it because like Khadija works longer hours than I do. She works a regular set of hours versus me that, gets up early in the morning, gets off like at 10, 11 a.m. So it was really just mostly me last week. And I was just like, I did want to record. I wanted to record, but then I was like, there's no way I'd be able to get everything ready and record and then also edit the next day.
Oh, no. I mean, Jacob, that was no way possible that you was going to be able to do that. And look, me personally, I was happy. I was like, oh hell yeah, he don't want to do. It's like finding out. Yeah, it's like finding out I ain't gotta go to school for the day. I was like, oh hell yeah, I get to sit around in my drawers all day and just watch cartoons.
I don't gotta do this.
Man, that's exactly what this felt like. So I was, I was down with it.
Well, it's not good.
But I mean, dealing with that and having like put a room and then another room, and not to mention you all in one doing it.
Yeah,
that sucks. And then you got to put the cats. You got to.
Oh yeah, okay.
They're put up.
So let me tell you this too. So all week had to get the apartment ready, and then the cats can't be in the building while the pest control is going on. We had to move the cats somewhere else, and the solutions were either we get them like a little cat hotel, and take them to like a boarding thing for the night, which they'll hate because they've never actually been away from us like that, right?
Oh yeah, that would hurt. And not only would it hurt them, it would hurt you guys because you guys have been around them for so long.
Exactly,
it's your cats.
So we had decided to get a hotel and just like sneak the cats in because most hotels have a side door.
They do,
and so we could just walk the cats in. But
they also got a camera too.
They do have cameras. So that was our solution. And also on Thursday, one of Khadija's nieces graduated from Hutto High School on the other side of Austin. So, our pest control was scheduled to come in on Friday, but they couldn't give us a time. They could not tell us what time they would be here. They would just be like, we're going to be here Friday between the hours of 10 and 4. So we're like,
so that means that you got to hold up and wait this entire time for these people to show up.
Not that per se, but it basically meant we had to have the apartment ready by Thursday, like before we left for this graduation, right?
That's such bullshit. Yeah,
it is. So I spent all day Wednesday and all day Thursday just loading up the apartment. I didn't even finish, but actually so what happened was we go to Hutto, we go to the graduation, which was at 8:00 at night, by the way, James. 3 hours long. 700 student graduating class from this high school, 8 to 11.
Oh man.
So we do that. We drive all the way back to San Antonio, pick up the cats, sneak them into the hotel, which, by the way, we somehow managed to book the only hotel that doesn't have a side door. So we had
what type of hotel was it?
It was, I think it was a Hilton, or it might have been a Marriott. I don't know. It was somewhere by the San Antonio airport, and it was kind of like older and a little janky, to be honest. But
might have been what's that? Quentin? What's the name of it? I'm not saying Quentin. I'm just saying Quentin. That's a prison.
It felt like a prison.
Oh man, I forgot the name now. La Quinta Inn. Was it La Quinta?
No, it wasn't La Quinta. Khadija's not a La Quinta girl. She's Marriott or Hilton. That's who I married. So,
okay. She want the luxury hotel.
She wants the higher end stuff. And I was trying to explain to her, like, hey, La Quinta has inside, like, La Quintas are like hotels and motels. Like they're not they're not just nice. Motels.
Yeah, like they're nice, and they serve breakfast, powdered eggs, but yeah, they serve breakfast
nonetheless. But I couldn't convince her. It was a Hilton, and also it was graduating week, so we had to find a hotel that was cheap enough for the week, because otherwise they were like $100-$200 a night, because everyone's coming in for their graduations and whatnot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So anyway, we get back from Austin, pick up the cats. It's like 1 a.m. at this point. I have to work the next day, but I'm working like the mid shift. I'm working from like 10 to 4, so I can sleep in a little bit more so than I normally could. So pick up the cats, go to the hotel, and we get to the hotel. One of the cats peed himself because he was scared because the weather.
Oh man, which one was it? The black one?
No, it was the white and gray one. It was Milo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So unfortunately, he peed himself. Luckily, it didn't get in Khadija's car. It was just in the cat carrier.
Yeah, the cat carrier.
So luckily, it didn't get in her car. Otherwise, that would have been a whole bigger issue. But anyway, so we managed to sneak them in. We got a cart, and we put them on the cart, and then we put a blanket over them, and we put all our stuff on it. So, it's kind of like we're walking in with all of our stuff on the cart.
Oh, yeah.
And luckily, they were quiet while we were going through the lobby.
Yeah, right. Nobody was meowing.
Yeah, nobody was crying or meowing or anything like that. So anyway, we get into the hotel. I'm trying to give this cat like a makeshift bath. Like I'm get a towel, I wet it, I'm rubbing him down. I rub some soap into the towel, and I'm trying to like bathe this cat, which only really made it worse. And I felt very bad for the cat. I felt awful. I was like, this is not a fun experience.
Well, yeah, you already know he felt embarrassed.
Yeah. He did. And while this is going on, Khadijah calls me out to the room because there's a damn roach on the wall. There's like those little bitty roach things. Not the big ones, not a cockroach, but like the little ones.
Oh, like the little, like, what, baby roaches?
No, like the German roaches they're called. You know, they're the ones where it's like, if you got one of them.
They look really weird. Yeah.
So I killed the roach, and like we're just tired and annoyed because it's like 1, 2 a.m. So we're like, screw it. Like I took a shower. We go to bed. The cat stays in the bathroom the whole night because he's scared anyway. So it's fine. He's not trying to sleep with us while he smells like pee.
Yeah, that makes sense. He's embarrassed for the day.
Yeah, but we're trying to sleep, James, and the little black cat is just crying the whole night. Just meowing the whole night. And it like he'll jump on the bed and I would pet him and he would stop crying, but he wouldn't like settle down. He couldn't.
What was this problem? I
don't know. I guess just like new space, new place, but like, you know, hey, the other cats are here, we're here, like you're fine, you're good. Just go to sleep. My cat, the gray cat, Chester, freaking loved it. I don't know. He was the most chill. Like he found a nice little spot on ottoman.
Of course he was.
He was good. He was all good. So we got like 2.5 hours of sleep. We wake up early the next day, go to my apartment. We finish loading everything up. And then it's about 9:30 and I have to go to work. So I leave for work. Pest control shows up about 10:30. They do their thing. And then we just stay Friday night in the hotel still because we got like 2 nights because we weren't for sure what time they were going to come, right?
Yeah,
that's true. Because we're like, all right, the cats need to stay out of the apartment for 4 hours, but we don't know when these people are going to come. So we got 2 nights.
That makes sense.
To be safe. So they finally came and did their thing. We finally got to come back to the apartment. And now, like, we have to stay, like, half-packed because the pest control has to come back and kind of re-inspect in the middle of June.
Oh.
So until then, we're living out of garbage bags. Like, my study, I had to take everything, like, pack up my entire study, pack up all my computer stuff. And it's like bare bones right now. So
all you got on the desk right now is just
my board and my computer. That's it. And then everything else is just like strewn across the study. So
let me ask you this: is the bed bug problem solved?
Honestly, I think it was solved after the first day we found it because we only ever saw the one. She was only bitten by that one, and then immediately we went and got like bed bug stuff. Right? Like the spray and like we got this powder to put out. So if they step in it, they just die. And ever since that first time we encountered it, we haven't encountered them since. And we never found them in the bed. We think they might have been in the couch, but if they are, they're definitely gone now for sure.
Yeah, because you threw that out. Yeah. You threw that out?
No, we still have the couch, but we've been lounging on it since pest control came through and she's had no more bites.
Oh, okay.
So, because the bugs eat her. They don't eat me, apparently.
It's weird.
Yeah, very weird. But everything seems to be all good now. And honestly, I kind of feel like we probably could have got rid of them on our own. But also with bed bugs, you know, you don't really know, right? So it is best to tell pest control. But let me tell you, don't get bed bugs.
No, trust me. I've been through that. I've been through that whole deal. Like, at least you guys actually have money to actually stay somewhere.
That is true.
You know, even that, like when I went through it, I didn't have any money, so I'm already, you already broke. Being broke and having bed bugs is a worse type of experience.
Yeah,
because you got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got to deal with it no matter what. And all you can do is just throw stuff out, get the powder like you said, and hope to God you can get rid of them suckers.
I'm telling you, man. That's all you do. It's. We went on a vacation. That's where we picked them up from. And it just feels like we need another vacation. Or it feels like a punishment for a vacation, right? Be like, oh, you took a week off to enjoy your life? No, bed bugs.
So what we should do is play a game, man. What state do you think the bed bugs came from?
Oh, we think it was New Mexico. We think it was like the last place we stayed in, which was Roswell. So we didn't
absolutely racist. Absolutely racist.
We didn't get abducted by aliens, but we got bed bugs. That's what happened.
Absolutely racist, Jacob. Absolutely. This is Mexico right bad, huh?
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Not Mexico.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, the originals. Oh, okay. The new Mexico. The new Mexico.
The Americanized one, yes.
The Americanized Mexico. Okay. Yeah. All right. I got you. I mean, look, it could have came from there, but these things travel at an alarming rate.
They do.
At an alarming rate. So there's no telling where you got it from. Like you could have got it just and you could have got it from anywhere. They travel on jackets. They travel on furniture. They travel on suitcases. Anything.
Well, another thing too is the whole month of April, before we even went on the trip, our apartment did like an apartment by apartment inspection, just like making sure like if there's anything broken, they can like list it and get it fixed or whatever. Because some people don't always report broken things. So they did like this inspection where they went to everybody's apartment throughout like the week, and we're like, we could have possibly gotten it from that. Like another apartment might have them.
Oh yeah,
but we don't know. Yeah. Nobody else has reported it. We're the first ones to report it. And something else that's annoying is our apartment already told us. They were like, hey, if another apartment starts reporting bed bugs, like you'll have to pay for their treatment as well.
You kidding me?
Yeah, because they assume it's going to come from us. And I'm just like, all right, well, what's the statute of limitations on this?
So what if it comes from another part? It's like, what if it comes from another apartment, another apartment gets it, and another apartment gets it?
Yeah. Like we're like, how far down the chain does it go? Or like even the time limit, right? Like what's the time limit? Like because if a month later, if somebody else reports bed bugs, is it from us or is it from something else they've done?
Why does your apartment sound like an apartment? It's like a woman. It's like a female. It's like, oh, you gave me this. You gave me this STD, so you got to pay for the STD. You got to pay for that.
I don't know about all that, but
no, because like when you get the well, I hope you don't know, but like when people get STDs and they want to know like where it come from, and you got to pay for the treatment. Yeah, so it's like, oh god, that's what your apartment sounding like right now.
I mean, I guess that's how they do it. Yeah. Well, the bed bug is kind of an STD.
It is. It's the STDs of insects. They are the STDs of insects.
Yeah, they're the house STD. Like if you get it, you got to call the other houses you've been in.
Oh man, I gotta tell you this one story.
All right.
Go ahead. When I was living in Michigan, it was with my ex, and before we had our son, and we lived with our father, and her father used to get around a lot. He like to have good nights. He was go over different females' houses and stuff like that. Do little one night stands, and he had one leg. So watching a one legged man get around the town was kind of funny, especially while it's snowing. Yeah, because it's snowing. It snows hard in Michigan. So one day, his girlfriend calls him up and tells him that you have bed bugs. That she has bed bugs, and how she remembers that we had bed bugs because we told her that story a long time ago. So she put two and two together and was like, "Oh, you guys gave such and such, gave bed bugs." And her father was defending us. It was like, no, they been got rid of the bed bug situation a long time ago.
Right.
And she just was like, that was way before we even came here. We just told that story just in gist because we wanted to tell you how bad it was. So it's like, it's one of those things like you don't even want to say that you had bed bugs.
You really don't. Because
everybody gonna look at you strange and be like, "Oh, that's that dude that had bed bugs," and it sounds like it's like an STD. It sounds like that's that guy that had gonorrhea. Gotta watch that guy.
It felt disgusting, just like I don't know, still living in the apartment while you have them.
Oh no, man, it's a disgusting feeling, and it's a disgusting smell too.
Yeah. So it's been a couple of weeks. It really has.
Oh yeah, and just to think all that. And see, I was gonna tell a story about how I just helped this girl help one of my friends move, and she made me dinner last night, and I was gonna tell a story about that because I'm gonna tell you how funny it was. And I was like, "Here, you going through your hardship makes me feel even better by telling this story."
Well, look at that.
So I'm still gonna tell the story. I don't care.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell the story.
Yeah. So I helped her move. She moved into a new apartment, and she got some of her stuff from IKEA. Mm. And I hate IKEA because IKEA is like it's an adult version of Legos. It truly is.
A bunch of our furniture is from IKEA, so
yeah. Well, so you probably got like a lot of a lot of experience with it because you put it together so much stuff from IKEA.
That is true. Our couch is from IKEA,
and you guys had to put that together again.
Yep. And every time we move, we got to take it apart.
You got it.
Just throwing that out there.
So I guess when she moves, I'm going to take it apart. Hopefully she don't move because she's the type of person that likes to stay where she's at.
Oh, good.
Like for years on years. Me personally, I like to move because I don't like to have to pay. Because the years that you stay, they keep going up on the rent, going up on the rent.
It should really be the opposite,
so, right?
Yeah,
yeah. Like you really think so? Like why would I have to charge? Why are you charging me more I'm on time, and I've been here for years.
Right.
Almost going up.
Where's the loyalty program for apartments?
They should have a loyalty program. They should have a loyalty. So she called me and she's like, "Hey, I made dinner for you. I appreciate you helping me. I know you were tired, you were sweating hard." And I was like, "Oh, I mean, you don't have to make dinner for me. Like, I did it because I'm just a good person and a good friend. You know, I don't look for anybody to do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I am. Women or men. Anybody I help, I don't look for you to, oh, you got some food for me? You give me some money? Like, I can buy my own food. I can, you know, and so it's all good. I didn't ask for anything, but she was like, yeah, I just want to be nice. So remind you now, this was the same person I played a prank on Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow.
The whole McDonald's prank.
Whoops.
So I totally forgot about this. I totally forgot about that McDonald's prank. So when I come over yesterday and I saw like, hey, do you need me to bring anything? I just came straight in my uniform. I was already tired because work was just kicking my behind. So I was already tired from that. So she said, no, I don't need to bring anything. I got everything. I got wine. I got glasses. I got she had already settled in. She put all her plates up and all this stuff, took everything out the boxes. All I had to do was just bring in the furniture, you know?
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, of course. So, you know, I came in there. Apartment looks nice spiffy apartment, very clean, smells good, don't have bed bugs. It like it was just a fresh looking apartment. So she's like, I asked her what we having tonight. She said, oh, we have a steak. I was like, oh man, I can deal with that. I love some steak. So when she brings the food to me, she nice little round table in the kitchen, in the dining room. I mean, she brings the table to me. It was asparagus. I was like, oh man, this is a nice asparagus. This is really good. And then she gave me the steak. The steak is the size of a hockey puck. This is the size of a hockey. I was like, what's up with the hockey puck steak?
That, 6 ounce?
Yeah, like a 6-ounce steak. It looked like a bar of soap. I was like, what is this? I didn't say anything. I was like, well, I tried not to say nothing. I was like, oh man, I appreciate, because I'm appreciative. No matter what the meal is, I was very appreciative of it. So when she gave me the steak, not only did she give me a hockey puck steak, it was well done on top of that. Knowing I don't eat well done steak. So then on top of that, after she gave me the steak, she gave me a cup, and the cup had flakes in it. I said, what the hell is this? What are you doing to me? And it was all coming back slowly as this is unraveling. This is all coming back to me in my mind. I was like, oh, she's getting me back for that prank. She's getting me back for that prank. It was Kool-Aid. I was like, why the Kool-Aid? I messed with this. So he gave me Kool-Aid, macaroni, asparagus, and a 6-ounce steak. And you told me we was having lobster and steak for dinner, and this is what you get there. I was just like, yep. Remember that prank you played on me? I said, what the hell is going on? Now, remind you now, I still ate all this meal.
I think your first hint should have been the lobster.
It should have been the lobster. Because it wasn't like the real lobster I was thinking about was going to be. It was like the lobster that you get from like that Great Value lobster that's already made up and ready. I said,
speaking of lobster, so over the weekend we went out to the Riverwalk for the first time since we've actually moved up here. We went to the Riverwalk. We've been there before, but not like since we became residents of San Antonio, because it's a tourist spot, right? So we went to the Riverwalk, and one of the restaurants they have there is called I think the Sugar Factory, and they specialize in like sweets, obviously, because it's called the Sugar Factory, but they have all kinds of different sugary martinis and cheesecakes and whatnot, and it feels like they have regular food, but it's you don't really go there for the regular food, right? You go there for the fishbowl drinks and the chocolate martinis, right? And in the corner of the restaurant, because we got a martini and a cheesecake. This was after dinner. So in the corner of the restaurant, there's this guy sitting by himself eating a lobster.
Whole lobster?
Yeah, I don't know about a whole lobster, but a lobster tail at least, right? Very clearly eating on a lobster tail from the sugar place. And we're like, why does this place sell lobster? And why did you get lobster from the Sugar Factory?
That's a random place to get lobster from.
Very random. And apparently he must have been a somebody, because like there were these girls on a like bachelorette thing, because they were all dressed up. Like you could tell, you can always tell the bachelorette groups. They were going to use a restroom inside the restaurant, and then on the way out, they stopped and took a picture with them. And we're like, all right, that's really random. So this has to be like a somebody. Has to be
it could have been like a YouTuber or a movie star
or a basketball player or whatever. I don't know. I don't recognize him. So he's obviously not in the circle of things that I check out. But we're just like, why is this man just eating this lobster in this sugar place? This can't be a good lobster. It could not be have been a good lobster.
It's just so random to eat lobster in San Antonio, because I don't associate San Antonio for lobster.
Not the Riverwalk.
Not the Riverwalk. I don't really associate San Antonio with seafood. Period. Right. So it's like I just don't. Houston is different because
you're closer to the coast. Cultures. Yeah,
we have the coast. So we
have a port. We have a harbor.
Yeah. If I go to Boston or if I go to Maine, if I go to Seattle, I get it. No. Lobster in San Antonio in probably a lonely ass table with a light dimmed down, especially on him. This is creepy ass looking table.
A little bit like that.
Guy to see.
It was in the corner. Tall? Yeah, he was a tall man.
It could have been a basketball player.
He was a tall black man. So yeah, I mean, could have been.
That's great observation, Jacob. Like a tall black man. That narrows it down. That definitely narrows it down.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about basketball,
that definitely narrows it down. So I appreciate you. Man, that's.
I can go further. He was bald and he had earrings and he had like some denim, like a denim jacket, denim pant combo. It was like the bleach, like washed kind of look.
So was anybody taking like pictures with him and stuff?
It was only like one of the bachelorette girls. Like she literally sat down next to him and like her friend took the picture, which we're like, he's got to be somebody because he's not wearing any, like, I don't know. He just didn't look like. You don't do that to a stranger. You know what I mean?
It probably was a basketball player.
Had to have been, right? A Spurs guy or somebody.
Yeah, it just could have been a basketball player.
So I don't know, but there's my lobster story inside of your lobster story.
Well, the sad part about I ain't finished mine.
But I know. I'm sorry.
I ain't finished mine. Some bitches come out. It's like, speaking of lobster.
I had to get it out. It would have been weird if I brought it up later.
It was just complete cut off because the whole thing was a prank. She ended up, I still ended up eating the food, and I was still hungry after it. So she took me out. She took me out to eat, and we actually got some drinks. Okay. So it ended on a good night. And I was like, hey, that was a good prank. You gave me with the nasty ass Kool-Aid that had like flakes in it. So you didn't stir it up correctly. So I appreciate that part. And you gave me the 6-ounce steak, and you gave me a well done 6-ounce steak. You gave me this great value macaroni. I appreciate that. And then you gave me these bruised ass asparagus. These bruised asses. You ever see bruised asparagus? It's been steaming too long.
No.
And it's all bruised looking. That's exactly what.
I didn't know you could bruise asparagus.
Well, I shouldn't say bruise. That's probably the wrong word for it, but it looks bad. It didn't look like it was very cooked all the way. It looked really, really bad and it looked brown and greenish. So I was, that was a good prank. I'm always in for a good prank after work, even though I was
after work.
Had a hard day. Had a hard day at work. I'm always in for it.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what I want.
On the Gold Podcast with Jacob and James. It's freaking rad, brother. Rad.
Mission Impossible has always been one of my favorite genres of action movies. I think because it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
And I think it's always kind of been better than James Bond, even though they've kind of been in and out with the Mission Impossible movies. Some have been better than others.
Right. I mean, there's been like 8, 9 of them. So
This is 8. This is the 8th one, if I'm not mistaken. Have you ever saw the Mission Impossible movies?
No, I never was into the Mission Impossibles.
Oh, okay. So you remember that song that Little Biscuit made for the second one?
No.
Take a run. You got to pull that song up. You got to pull that song up.
I didn't even know Limp Bizkit made a song for a movie.
That was for Mission Impossible 2.
Huh.
And that which is the worst Mission Impossible movie ever.
Is that the one with the masks? Like the face masks?
What you mean?
Because one of the movies, like, don't they introduce, like, there's they all do. Oh, they all do? Okay.
Yeah, they all do. That's like that's a gimmick. You know, that's the trope of Mission Impossible, you know, though. And it's a trope that never gets old. You know, it never really gets old. And Mission Impossible 2 is by far the worst Mission Impossible movie. And that was John Woo. John Woo did that one. And Mission Impossible didn't pick back up until Mission Impossible 3, which was done by J.J. Abrams, which is, I think, in my opinion, Mission Impossible 3 is the best Mission Impossible ever. Like, from beginning to end. J.J. Abrams did an awesome job with that movie. So, back to my original point. This movie, I like this movie a lot. I mean, I like it, but I don't love it.
Right.
It's 3 hours long.
Jeez.
Yeah. And when the first part 1 came out, Final Reckoning, that came out, 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken?
Dead Reckoning? Yeah.
Yeah, part 1.
Or maybe it was fairly recent. Hold on. Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, because it came out the same year as Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and it was a cliffhanger. I think it had to have been last year, because I'm pretty sure, 2023.
Yeah, 2022, if I'm not mistaken. 2021. Could have been 2021, because it came out the same year as Barbie and Oppenheimer.
June 19th, 2023.
Gotcha.
Or July 12th, cool. Actually. June 19th was for Rome. July 12th was U.S. Okay. Well, I wasn't crazy about the script or the story when I first heard that one either. Mm-hmm.
When I first, because it's all, it's all the same story. You know, it's basically Ethan Hunt is tasked with a mission of stopping an AI device called the Entity. They don't give it a real name, but of course they just call it the Entity. But I just think it's just a goofball way of a film.
That's why people keep calling AI the Entity.
Yeah,
that's why I keep seeing that.
I think I hated the villain. I hated that. I'm not a big fan of AI devices being villains.
Well, especially these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been done before.
Yeah.
So it's like if Terminator had Skynet sounded a whole lot more cooler than the Entity.
Yeah.
We can all admit that. But Skynet was second.
Yeah.
But that's basically what it is. This is Skynet, and it's basically trying to control people, control our governments, control every country, and launch nukes in the air and destroy the whole world.
Didn't they have... So which one was about the nukes? Wasn't there one about nuclear war already? Fallout, right?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. All of them. I feel like all of them are pretty much standard when it comes to nuclear fallout. So I'm not... But this one in particular here, the story just did not work, man. I did not like the story at all. The action sequences are really, really cool. Even though the submarine part is done strictly on a set piece, so it's not like it's really done outside of that, which in reality, you can't do that because he's happened to go inside a submarine beneath the ocean floor and get a device to help him stop, to stop the Entity. So, cause that's what the whole movie's about. And it's been buried down there since 2012. So that's his job and that's his mission to get this thing and stop the Entity. And that was the coolest thing. I did love that submarine scene, him going down there, even though it's the most unrealistic scene in the history of time. It's starting to hit that level. It hit that level of Fast and Furious with me, whereas like, no, there's no realism in this at all.
That's this movie, right?
Yeah. There's no realism in this at all because it hits the Fast and Furious level. Because if you're telling me that a grown man, a 60-something-year-old man, or a human, period, can travel the bottom of an ocean floor to get a device, his body wouldn't even make it. He would explode.
Yeah, the pressure would get him.
Jacob, we just got a movie that came out a couple months ago. What, Deep Breath? Well, that was based on a true story. A guy that got stuck at the bottom of the ocean floor and damn near died, and he ended up living at the end. Like that was based on a true story, and that was actually a lot better than that part.
Dang.
That made no sense. That made no sense at all. It was just a stupid set piece. And it was, like I said, it was fun. It was riveting. Way too long. The movie is just it's too much editing. They had way too much editing. Way too much exposition. I could care less about all these montages because they're trying to put all these montages together and say, see, all these Mission Impossibles are all
connected,
all connected. I'm like, that's bullshit. That's no way in hell that you could tell me that you trying to loop all these Mission Impossibles together and tell me that, see, told you, all these connected. It's just lunacy, man. It's lunacy.
That is a little weird. Why do you have to do that? We know they're all connected because Tom Cruise keeps coming back. That's really it. You don't need to connect all the missions.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to connect all the missions. So like, see, remember when you did this? Remember when you did that? Remember this? Remember that? It's like we don't need to go through that montage. That's half the hour taken up right there.
Yeah.
You know, and saying that's half of the time taken up. Honestly, this movie could have been an hour and 45 minutes because you've already explained and laid out the groundwork in the first one, in part one. So why are you talking about it now again? We already know what's going on. Let's just dive right back into it. Let's just dive into the action and call it a day. We don't need more exposition and more dialogue. We don't need that. And I just feel like this movie was just self-indulgent. And for the people that liked it, good for them. I saw too many problems with this movie to just say this was the best summer movie so far. Because it's not. It's really, really not. Way too much exposition. The editing, you can see it from a mile away. I was like, oh man, they edit that part. They edit that out. Oh, okay, cool. They edit that. And then the sad part about it, the parts they probably edited out probably should have been in the film, and the parts they kept should have been left out. That's usually how it goes when you do the edits for these films.
Right.
So I did not like this movie, and I'm gonna tell you what won me over and why I gave it a 6 out of 10.
All right.
I gave it a 6 out of 10 because of the ending scene. And I almost another action sequence when he was on the plane. That was cool. When he's taking down the villain, the other bad guy, which is what's it? How you want to say this? A Monday villain. He's a Monday villain. Now he wants to take over the whole world for his own
one of them
purposes. Yeah, he's one of a usual villain. When Tom Cruise is strapped on that plane and he's trying to get this guy off the plane, it is one of the coolest scenes you will ever see. Because at that point, you're looking at Tom Cruise. You're not looking at the character Ethan Hunt. And it's extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. And to see him put his life on peril like that was pretty damn cool.
I'm convinced he just wants to die on set on one of these movies. That's been my theory for the longest time is he just wants to die.
Man. It's breathtaking.
Yeah.
It's one of the most breathtaking scenes. I was like, this is totally cool, man. This guy is putting his life on peril right now. It is extremely dangerous what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, goodness gracious.
So
the plane is just,
Is this really the final Mission Impossible or
Hell no. Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
They just called it the final reckoning for
they just called it the final reckoning because this is allegedly Tom Cruise's last movie, the last Mission Impossible movie. You know damn well it's not gonna be his last movie.
No, like I said, I think he wants to die making one of these movies. I think he's gonna keep doing these until he dies on set. Is my theory.
Well, you better have good life insurance. I know life insurance. I know they love him.
I'm sure he does, but that's my thing. I think secretly every time he does one of these insane stunts, he's hoping he dies.
Like I said, it's a good rental. It's a good man-made movie. You got bed bugs in your house and you want to get out the house.
You get away for 4 hours.
Get away for 4 hours. Like that chops up half your hours because the damn movie's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So that chops up half your hours.
Well, then you add like trailers and you got time to get there and got time to leave. See, it's 4 hours.
Yeah. So you got time. If you got time to watch it, give it a shot. But
all right.
In my opinion, it's a 6 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10.
That's not terrible.
And the 6 out of 10 and the 6 just came from the plane part.
All six points came.
Yeah, the 6 part just came from the plane part.
All right.
Because it wasn't nothing else to really just like, oh, this is an amazing film. The most amazing Mission Impossible ever. It really was.
I do want to watch these movies at some point. I probably will. It's just, I don't know. I've never been drawn to the Mission Impossibles. I don't know what it is.
I mean, no, I understand. I mean, Darius is not, my other friend. He's not really drawn to Mission Impossible. He doesn't really like Tom Cruise like that.
Right.
But he did watch Top Gun Maverick, and he loved that. He did love Top Gun Maverick.
Well, it's funny because like everyone still glazes over Top Gun Maverick, and it's such a simple movie.
You know what? You know why people glaze over it so much? Is because it's simple. Because it is simple. Yeah, it's simple. It's not. It's a little corny in some little spots, but it's not as bad as the original. Right. But it's not it's not very homoerotic. Right. But when you sit down and you really think about Top Gun Maverick, like not a lot really happens. They're really just training for that mission, and then they go on the mission and they succeed. We don't even know who the enemy is. They never actually explicitly state like what country they're fighting. Yeah, they kind of cowered out. Yeah, they kind of cowered out on that part. They really did. Out on that. But I mean, for the most part, it is just like a basic bare bones film. But people loved it. People really extremely loved it. Like almost a little too much. Almost. I was one of them. That movie got a lot more attention than it probably deserved, honestly. I mean, it stayed in the movie theaters for a very long time, till like September. There were people who thought it would never leave. I thought that, because it stayed in the same time, because it came out the same year as Elvis. And between that movie and Elvis, both of those movies stayed in the theaters for months. Yeah. Oh, I think Top Gun Maverick had like 8-month run, which post-pandemic is incredibly long. Like, oh yeah, like we hadn't seen that since like I think Black Panther 1, because I remember Black Panther 1 was in theaters for a long time. Like it had come out on DVD and it was still in theaters. And that's how it was for Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. And I gotta tell you this one thing. So when I was coming out the movie theater, and this guy was like, "Now that is an action movie, let me tell you." I said, "I just want to smack him upside his head." Get your ass. Why is there always one of those guys? It's always that one guy. I was like right in front of. Well, he was. He was in front of me. And he was talking to his wife. He was like, "Oh man, now that was an action movie. Let me tell you." I said, "This guy." Oh. So I mean, he's that same guy. He's that same guy who goes to the movies on like a Monday in March and then complains that nobody's there. Oh yeah, always. The theaters are dying. This is the one time a year I come to the movie theaters. Yeah, there's always that one person. Yeah, there's always that one person that does that.
My name is Dick Righteous, and I'm here to take you on the wonderful journey through freedom, justice, in the good old American way, like a hamburger with fries.
Tell me about Lilo and Stitch, man. I mean, I've seen all the complaints. I know.
Did you see the original?
Yeah, I've seen the original.
Oh, okay, cool. Because you remember, who
do you take me for?
I don't know. I take it as a person that haven't saw a lot of movies. So I don't know. I don't know what you saw.
I've seen Lilo and Stitch. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Did you see it when you were a kid or when you was a grown ass adult?
No, when I was a child. Like I remember we went and saw it in theaters, and I remember feeling duped because the trailers showed Stitch interacting with all the other Disney characters, because like that's how the marketing was. Oh, and I remember feeling duped that wasn't the movie.
That is a cool poster though. I do like that poster.
Oh yeah,
yeah, with all the Disney characters looking at him. Yeah, because it was so weird because Disney had never done a character like Stitch before. No. Because most Disney characters are always cute,
princesses,
furry, princesses. Yeah, princes are goofy or talking like Mickey Mouse, but they're not a menace, right? So when I saw when I saw the original Lilo and Stitch, I loved it. It had humor, a lot of good humor in it. It had some tear-jerking moments. Yeah, very emotional plot points.
Yeah. And it spun off like three sequels, and 3 sequel TV series, because there was a TV series that came out, and there's
Leroy and Stitch.
There's Leroy. Okay, so there's Leroy and Stitch. There's Stitch 2 or Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch has a glitch, and then there's Stitch the movie, which introduced the cousins, and that's what they spun off. Right. That's what they spun off to the TV series, and then. After that was canceled, a few years later, I think China did their own TV series, which was a continuation of Lilo and Stitch. And then after that, Asia is doing their own continuation of Lilo and Stitch, which is still inside the continuity of Lilo and Stitch.
because the US show actually did really, really good.
Yeah.
It did really, really good. It stayed on for a very long time. I used to watch it all the time it's come on ABC in the mornings on Saturdays. I used to watch it all the time, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I also like the artwork too as well. I don't know if you can dig up the guy that did the artwork for this, the animation for the film, because he said the reason why everything is round and so roundish is because he wanted it that way, because he didn't want the true adult.
Right. He wanted it to be a cartoon.
Adult. Yeah. He didn't want anything to look menacing, so that's why everything is round. If you notice, like, the artwork looks very different in this film than in any film you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And also too, what you got?
I'm trying to pull them up. You can keep talking.
Okay. And also too, I like the culture. The
Hawaiian culture, yes.
I love the Hawaiian culture behind the Polynesian culture. I love all of that, man. Like that's so cool. I love the voice work as well. Well,
not only that, like the mix between Elvis and the Hawaiian culture, because it's I don't know, like the Elvis stuff is like very baked in. Obviously, it's baked into the movie because like Lilo really likes Elvis, but like the soundtrack is just Elvis and Hawaiian.
Well, don't forget, Elvis in Hawaii. He performed in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it made a lot of sense, and it works. It's not like it's forced.
Yeah,
it's not like it's forced music either. So that's why I also like the soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
So when I saw the trailer for the new Lilo and Stitch, I was impressed. I was virtually impressed.
It did look good.
It did look good. They copied everything to a T.
Yep.
Everything to a T. I was like, oh man, hey, this is cool. I was like, oh, I remember that scene with the dog collar. I remember that scene. I remember him, the beginning intro of the scene, because they hit it off with a bang.
Oh yeah,
it starts off with a bang.
Shot by shot almost.
Yeah. I mean, I love that part. Like everything they hit all this stuff. And I was like, okay, Disney, you finally got it right with this live action. You finally getting it right. All the characters look the same. The little girl who played Lilo, she looks just like the cartoon.
Was she throwing hands with Myrtle, the little redhead girl?
We'll get to it.
Man.
We'll get to it. And so I really, really liked the trailer. It was really, really good. First of all, that scene in particular, I was so thrown off when I saw that scene as a kid, because I did not, because you had never seen a Disney princess or like that fight in a scene.
Lilo's feisty.
Oh yeah, she was very feisty. Feisty with a reason.
Yeah, that's true.
She lost her parents, and she was living with her sister, and she didn't really have anybody. Well, sister was always working all the time.
I'll tell you this, James. I recently watched Stitch. I think Stitch 2 on Disney Plus, just to because we're not going to see Lilo and Stitch, or I might when it comes out, but Khadija's already not interested for reasons you'll get to. But I watched Stitch 2, and that little Myrtle girl in that movie is so annoying. She's annoying in everything.
Oh yeah, she was annoying in the first.
And I made the comment to Khadija. I was like, why do people act like Lilo's the problem when this little Myrtle girl is the one who's actively talking crap to Lilo all the time in front of adults, in front of everybody? She's always just punching down on Lilo. Why is everyone acting like she's the problem? Lilo's not the problem.
Well, you know how it goes. The bully always gets more mercy than the person that actually is not doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
But but like I said, the trailer was nice, cool. Now, originally, this movie was supposed to be on Disney Plus.
I had heard that.
It was originally supposed to be in Disney Plus. And I can say, after seeing this movie, I don't give a damn how much money this movie makes. I don't care if it's because it's Top Gun Maverick. Speaking of Top Gun, it actually Top Gun Maverick this weekend, over Memorial Weekend.
To be fair, a fair bet of that is because it's Memorial Weekend, right?
Memorial Weekend. That had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So I don't give a damn how much money this movie made. I did not like this movie at all. There are some parts of the movie I like. I like that they kind of built up 90s a neighborhood. They show that she has there's people that live in the neighborhood with her. It's not just
a house on the hill situation.
Yeah, it's not like that. But at the same time, they don't do anything with those people. They're just there.
Yeah.
They don't play a big part or play a big role in the movie at all. Agent Bubbles, played by my guy, was that Angela Bassett's husband, which I forgot his name. I really, really like him a lot. He's a really good actor. You really didn't need him.
You didn't need Bubbles?
Nah.
Well, they kind of split him up between two characters, right?
I was about to say that. Yeah, I was about to say that. They split him up between two characters, and you didn't need him. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't need to split him up either. He could have just been the same.
You could have. You could have. They missed a lot of emotional beats with this film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what made that film so good and so tear-jerking was the different scenes and the different dialogue that they had with each other, Lilo and Stitch. You know,
and Nani. It's also just like the struggle of it all.
Yeah, the struggle of it all, man. Something that we've never seen before. Like, this little girl is about to be taken away from her home.
Yeah.
From her sister.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anybody else. The
very serious underlining plot of the movie that you're distracted by Stitch from.
Yeah, and then you got Stitch coming in here. He causing chaos, but he's causing chaos for his own reasons because he doesn't have anybody.
Yeah.
He's just a creation.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like this movie in particular missed all of that stuff. Remember that scene with the ugly duckling scene?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One of the most tear-jerking moments. And he cuddled up with her and he wanted her to read that. And they took that part out.
What?
Yeah, that's not in there. I was like, oh, man, come on, man.
That's silly.
Come on. That part where she told him to just go away. You know, everyone else leaves me.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Come on, man. It's like that. Those are moments you can't get back. And those are moments that really turned that film into what it was because of the emotional stuff. It's like, I'm not making a hill out of a mountain here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling the truth, man. That emotional beats are what makes that film so good.
Yeah.
You know, well, Nani and Lilo's relationship were, as even though they were stressed out a lot, you know, Nani singing to Lilo and the little hand gestures they did in the middle of the night. I mean, all that type of stuff is what they didn't have in this movie.
That's crazy.
You know, those beats they didn't have. And they really missed the mark. They really missed the mark for me.
That's really upsetting because I had hopes for this one. You know, it really had seemed like they took time and effort into making it not exactly the same as the original, but like it looked like they had tried to match it as much as possible. And like hearing that they took out the more emotional stuff or even like the ending, because I know like we can get the ending out of the way. I already know Lilo ends up becoming a ward of the state, and David and his grandmother is watching over him while Nani goes to college.
Yeah. Like
they changed that whole ending. And I know a lot of people had issues with that. And honestly, it does take away the whole point of the original movie, right? Ohana means family. You don't leave your family behind. And like, I understand Nani has like a portal gun of some sort, so she can like portal back and forth to America and Hawaii. But someone pointed out that's so stupid to be in the movie because Hawaii is home to like 3 of the most prestigious marine biology universities or programs in the United States.
I appreciate that person thinking like that, but you know damn well they want to go to Disney was not going to think that hard.
No, and I mean evidently they didn't, but it's like that doesn't make sense either because like she could have just stayed in Hawaii if you would have done your research and just tweaked it a little bit. You could have still had her go to college if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah,
but you didn't need to do like she gives up custody and she goes to college in San Diego. Like that's just unnecessary.
Oh, I think some of it too. They were trying to I appreciate them trying to ground it as much as they possibly could in a world that is not as grounded. Obviously, you got an alien running around,
right?
So they were trying to make it very grounded.
But here's the thing: it's based off a cartoon, so just I don't know. It doesn't need to be grounded. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It just doesn't need to be grounded as much. And also, too, as far as Zach Galifianakis and I forgot what's the other guy's name that played the other two aliens?
Billy Magnuson?
Yeah, like, I understand. Obviously, they didn't have a lot of money, so they couldn't have them as aliens as they wanted to, walking around like they were in the cartoon.
Right.
Because they didn't have a lot of money.
Right.
I get it. Cool, whatever. So, Zach is actually playing the straight version of it than the other guy is. Because Zach is very funny. Zach Galifianakis is actually very funny.
Yes.
And he wasn't funny in this.
No,
I didn't really find him very
it's kind of a different role for him, right? It's more of a serious villain type. And I understand they made Jumbo the villain in this, like the full villain in this. I don't really mind that change. I think that's fine because like Jumbo was kind of a villain. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he was. He was, but
he made a weapon of mass destruction. Several of them. So
and that's no. Well, yeah, and I still don't like that though. I still don't like that. And that's another thing. Stitch, with this movie in particular, they make him more of just out of control, chaotic monster.
I see.
Like gremlin, like a straight gremlin.
Yeah.
In the cartoon, it was very cute and lovely and lovable, and you understood why it was this way. You know, you understood a lot of the moments in this movie.
Yeah.
In an original film. But this, they just made him a full out goddamn gremlin. I was like, well, damn. All right.
I think some of that's probably just because like it, you know, the transition between cartoon and live action, some things don't translate that well. Stitch's actions in the cartoon, they are a little bit more endearing, right? Because it's a cartoon. He looks a little bit more adorable.
But everything's done with a reason.
Yeah. And so in live action, you know, it doesn't translate as well. And also, like, not for nothing, Disney's CGI is horrible.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Nothing looks rendered.
Yeah.
Like the aliens. Oh man, the beginning scenes of that. Oh my goodness, it was terrible. It was terrible.
So I don't know what Disney's doing with their CGI budget or what CGI they're using, but like their last few projects with CGI has looked pretty bad, and that also goes for the Marvel stuff. Some of the Marvel stuff, like
the
CGI usage looks bad. It kind of diminishes the movie. So yeah, that. I don't know. Their CGI sucks.
I gave this movie a 5 out of 10. You know, obviously the movie's doing good. It's going to do good. It's a Disney film, so I'm not surprised. And a lot of marketing merchandise for it.
Yeah, it's
been done for it.
Honestly, as soon as you greenlit another Stitch movie, you were going to make money. That's just how it is. Yeah, it does. It does.
Money.
And to be fair, you know, you didn't even have to do a live action recreation of the first movie. You could have just done a live action Stitch movie, and I think you would have made the same amount of money, if not more, because then you can just make a new story. It's not like, I mean, again, I mentioned before, like they've had all kinds of spin-offs and like series and movies and stuff. Like you could have just done another Stitch movie. And
you're right.
I feel like that's what these live action movies need to get away from, is like stop recreating the already animated films. Just do live action continuations or just new story. If you're gonna do live action, because obviously you want to for whatever reason, at least give us something new and refreshing so we can't compare it to the original. You know?
They're all cash grabs. They're all complete cash grabs.
That is true.
They figure well, we throw a little bit in here.
But you know what?
Just for money's sake.
At least be a little bit more creative with your cash grabs is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, if you watch Stitch and watch Sonic the Hedgehog, it definitely that's more heartfelt, that's more emotional, that's more tear-jerking moments in those films,
right,
than this Stitch movie is.
And to be fair, you can even call Sonic a cash grab at this point because they've had like 3 movies, and there's going to be a 4th one. So you know, at this point, it's all just about the money.
But here's the difference, though, Jacob, with those movies. Here's a very, very vast difference.
People, the creators care more.
Those creators are putting all they have in those movies.
You're correct, yes.
They still keep the one fundamental thing about it. And I know it's corny. To say it's a family element. And they never lose those emotional plot points.
Which is strange for Disney, which is like the family company, to be missing the point here. And almost to a point where it's like they've got to be doing this stuff on purpose. It's like the Sony Spider-Verse movies all over again, right? Where it's like this has to be an on-purpose decision. Like you can't be this naive, you cannot be this ignorant. Like you know what people are saying about your films, but yet you keep putting out the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, yeah, money is a factor, but you would think like, oh, people actually don't like this. Let's make a better product. But that doesn't occur to them, or it does occur to them, and they just don't care at this point, which is just a sad.
They're going to watch it because they know kids
people are going to come see it. Yeah, and it's
no
upsetting.
Matter what. Yeah, it's upsetting. It really is upsetting, and you know,
Hollywood is missing integrity, James. That's the problem. We're missing integrity. Integrity.
And, you know, I thought they would have learned their lesson with the Snow White because Snow White did so poorly. So I would have thought they would have learned their lesson from that.
Well,
but clearly they haven't.
To be fair, this movie was already done before Snow White came out.
It was already done. Yeah,
right.
it was already done before that.
Because you know what? I had seen people making comments about like, oh, this movie, like with the Lilo becoming a ward of the state and stuff. Like they were trying to say, oh, this is because like, you know, they're trying to push like, I don't know, some anti-immigration whatever message. And I think people forget that like movies aren't made as fast as people think they are.
Oh, of course not.
Like this was filmed like 2 years ago at least, maybe a year ago.
Yeah, this movie been filmed.
And to be fair, the filming process is the fastest process. Everything else is just post-production. So the scripts and everything for this was already done a couple years ago, way before immigration crackdown.
Yeah, that's a reach.
It's very much a reach. Like I've seen things about like, oh, there's military propaganda because I think Lilo mentions like Donnie should join the Marines, but it was like a slip of the tongue. She meant marine biology, and I'm like, that's also a stretch.
Yeah,
it could be true, but I feel like it's not that deep.
Yeah, it's never that deep. You know, people ain't got nothing to do on the internet. It's the internet.
I'm telling you, man.
But yeah, man, I give this movie 5 out of 10. It's 5 out of 10 because there are a couple things. Like I said, I like the fact that it's grounded, and I like the fact they tried. They looked like they wanted to do a couple things different. It just didn't, for me personally, it just didn't pan out.
It didn't hit the mark, right?
It didn't land a sticking.
And I'm sure the Stitch stuff is still good because it's Stitch. Stitch is always fun.
You know, it's fine.
Yeah. So that's a fair review. That's a better review than I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you got kids, you know, they won't want to see it. So, but to me, you know, I don't. This just don't hold candle to the don't hold candle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course not. It shouldn't. It would be insane if it came out to be like, oh, it's better. It's great. Yeah. Oh, Myrtle. Was Myrtle in this? Like you said you were going to get to that.
Yeah, no. She's in there. She's in there. She had a little scene in there and whatever. Nothing impactful. It's the same old Stephen King villain.
As long as she gets beat up. You know what I mean? As long as she gets just beat up.
The same old Stephen King bully, you know? Those Stephen King bullies. Yeah.
Stephen King's bullies would make you think the 80s.
Oh, they're deadly.
You would think the 80s is like, how did anybody survive childhood?
Oh man, Stephen King's bullies are relentless. I'm telling you.
Every time I see a Stephen King movie set with children in the 80s, I'm just like, were kids like this?
Like, I don't know whether his bullies are coming from his life.
Like, oh my god!
Like, I don't know whether they were bullies in his life. But oh my goodness, god damn!
Yeah, jeez, no wonder Generation X sucks.
Jesus, man. So yeah, man, that's all I got, man. I gave you enough reviews for today. I think the next movie comes out this weekend is Karate Kid. I don't know if I'm gonna watch that or not.
Oh, that comes out this weekend?
Yeah, I've never been big on Karate Kid.
I never paid attention to the date. Honestly, I thought it was like, I don't know, later on.
Nah, it comes out this weekend. From what I heard from some of the reviews, it's typical by the numbers movie.
Yeah, that figures. Yeah. I mean, Cobra Kai is the reason this is coming out, right?
Yeah. I'm not even made a Cobra Kai like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's got 6 seasons. Someone likes it, but yeah.
I'm gonna try to watch that movie today. Friendship with Paul Rudd.
Oh, Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson.
Yeah, I was. Oh man, did you ever see the trailer for it?
No.
So when he goes, his wife wants him to be friends with the next door neighbors or across the street neighbors. Then they're all guys, and he goes over there, and he's not really like willing to share himself with everybody.
Right.
And there's a whole bunch of guys over there, and they're all talking, and then all of a sudden they just break out a song. It is an R&B song.
Oh no!
And it is the most funniest thing that I was sold just by that. I was just sold just by that. So yeah, man, I'm gonna try to check it out today. Cause I know it'll probably be gone by the end of this week. So I don't know how long it's gonna stay.
Probably already gone.
No.
No in theaters.
It usually stays like by Wednesday. That's usually the last day you catch these movies, and after that it's pretty much wraps. So I'm gonna try to catch that. I thought I'd have to be
That
get done
sounds
with
cool.
the pod.
I still need to see Final Destination. I want to see that movie so bad.
It's a good movie. It's a really, really good movie.
I
think
hear. Yeah.
in my opinion, I think it's the best one because it wraps everything. It ties everything together. Now, this is how you tie everything together.
Yeah.
If you're gonna tie it together.
No, I want to see it because we never got to talk about it, and I really want to see it. I just gotta catch it by myself. I'm gonna try to go Monday. I think.
I mean, if you're gonna tie shit together, this is how you tie things together. I'm like, oh, okay. What does this make? It makes a little bit more sense now.
Yeah,
because those other Final Destination movies had no plot.
It's all
had
chaos.
No real plot.
Yeah,
it was just all chaos. They never had any plot to those movies.
Right.
So this one, I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna try to check it out before next episode. We can just throw that in with whatever else we talk about because I do want to talk about that and discuss. I love the Final Destination series. I always thought they were interesting. It's because death is like the villain, but it's also a natural order of things. So it's very interesting concept.
It's really, really fun. Really, really fun movie. Had a really good time with it.
Great.
I definitely don't mind, talking about this again. This is pretty cool. Well, talk about it for the first time.
Yeah, right. Definitely excited to see it, but yeah, hey, if that's all you got, that's all I got. I know you said you're not feeling it all the time, but it sounds like you kind of came around on this episode.
I mean, look, I'm gonna come around to it all the time. I just wanted to. I know I talked about it in a roundabout way. It was very ranty-ish, and I was all over the place. But that's truly how I feel. At the same time, I'm still gonna do what I got to do.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
I get it. It's hard to ramp yourself up sometimes.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to pump yourself up doing this stuff.
Yeah.
When you got other things working against you, other factors working against you that stress you out to the point where it's like it is hard to come in here and give your all to a pod, where you have to come in to be silly.
Yeah.
For like a 40-minute
or entertaining or
for entertaining.
Reviewing
and it's hard.
Or whatever. Yeah.
It's really, it can be really, really hard.
But sometimes some people like the authentic voice sometimes. So just
Oh no! Well, I mean, look, this is why I want the podcast to be anyway. This is why I wanted like a lot more chatty Cathy, and then we get to what we got to do today.
Yeah,
that's kind of how like more open. How that's kind of how I've always wanted the podcast to be anyway.
Yeah,
because some of my favorite podcasts are always very open before they even start. You get into the crooks and crannies of the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, we can definitely do that. It's not a big deal. Yeah. Well, hey, that's all you got. That's all I got. If anybody wants to contact us, let us know what they think about Lilo and Stitch or Mission Impossible or what they think about bed bugs or whatever else in life. You can email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at onthego with Jacob and James. You can find us individually at me at jacobdanton.audio, and you can find James at
James9794.
Yes, sir. So without further ado, I'm on the go. James is on the go. We are all on the go.